So now I want to introduce our first speaker, Vanessa Russell. Vanessa is a remarkable person. I've gotten to know her over the last few months. She's a senior sales executive at Cisco Systems and the founder of a nonprofit organization called Love Never Fails. She's also the wife of Tim Russell, who is here with us today, and the mother of 7 children. I'm exhausted just thinking about all that she does. Well, Vanessa faced some challenging times growing up. Abuse, poverty characterized her childhood and through her teenage years. But in spite of all that she went through, Vanessa had an aptitude for learning and for technology. After graduation from college, she started working for Pac Bell and held increasingly responsible positions at companies like Pure Logic, FTP Software, and Excite at Home. And as I said today, she's a senior sales executive at Cisco. Although she grew up with no faith in her family, she found God, and God changed her outlook and her life. God often uses the challenges that we have to help other people who may be facing similar challenges. And that's exactly what happened to Vanessa. She founded Love Never Fails, which is dedicated to the restoration, education, and protection of young people in the risk of getting involved in domestic sex trafficking. The ministry addresses the traffic survivors' need for safety and wholeness. The nonprofit provides housing, mentoring, workshop development, and even a coaching ministry for men to help them find purpose and live by godly principles. Of particular note, Love Never Fails is engaged in a statewide preventive education collaborative called Protect. And if you want to hear more, learn more about Love Never Fails, I suggest that you visit their display table, which is in the hallway. The title of Vanessa's talk is Joy in Being, Not Doing. Please welcome Vanessa Russell.
This morning. I am so grateful to be here and have an opportunity to share a little bit with you about my personal story and my journey. That journey started in the 70s during a turbulent time. I was born actually in the East Coast to 2 parents that were hippies. And they were creative too, actually a lot of positive characteristics, very innovative, very creative, interracial couple, but you know, there were some challenges during that time, and there were a lot of drugs and there was a lot of partying, and because of that there was a lot of abuse. And as a result, they divorced when I was 2 years old. During that time of transition, my mother made the very challenging decision. It must have been very difficult for her at the age of 21 to place her daughter in foster care. But it was necessary for her as she went out as a single woman to pioneer the San Francisco Bay Area. And so she courageously went on and did that. She came back for me a couple months later, and she moved us permanently to San Francisco, to the Bernal Heights district. We left Florida with 1 suitcase in our hands. When we arrived to San Francisco, we lived with a couple of people and then finally landed our own flat. And that was, it was an exciting time. It was very challenging. There was a lot of poverty. We didn't have a lot of things, but we learned to do the best that we could with what we had. The drive to survive was great, and it made me hungry. It made me realize that I was only 1 step away from the streets. I was only 1 step away from having hunger pains. And so I began this journey of fighting for survival. At the age of 11, I landed my first job, and I haven't stopped working since. I also was involved in every extracurricular activity you could imagine. I was on the basketball team. I like to think I was the star shooter, but I was actually on the bench, but that's okay. I was in choir. I was on the dance team. I did everything. I was in a school government. I did everything you could imagine. And that sounds great. Only the reason why I was doing that was I was doing it to earn worth, because I didn't think I had any. Does anybody relate to that? And so as I went down this path of trying to earn my worth, I was accomplishing these amazing things, and I looked like I was this phoenix. And I thought I would wear this outfit to kind of show you what it felt like. I was this phoenix rising from the ashes. But actually, that was my persona by day. But by night, I was a scared little girl who was being raped by her boyfriend. And so there was this duality that was going on in my life, and this was at the age of 12. As I went on through my life, I kept thinking, if I just try harder, if I just work harder, I'll finally find the love that I always wanted. But that never happened in my childhood. I went on into my young adult life, and I continued to be an overachiever, promotion after promotion, being accepted to elite colleges, graduating from elite colleges, making six figures before the age of 30, purchasing my first home before the age of 30, and yet there was nothing. There was no worth. I didn't know my own value. And then in 2015, something happened. I'm sorry, 1995. I'm getting ahead of myself. 1995, I gave birth to my first child. And there was this thing that happened that was spiritual. I came to know love. Unconditional love. And I thought, I love this baby so much that I would give my life for him. He hasn't done anything to earn my love. And that got me thinking, if I could love this baby that way, is there somebody that loves me the same way? And so it set me searching, and I started going to church and meeting all these great loving people, and eventually I gave my life to the Lord on April 27th, 2000. Yeah, it was, yeah. In my morning devotional today, it read, "Join the party." Isn't that something? And so the party began. And as I was partying, I kept thinking, you know what, this party is just too good. I kept getting back to my old ways of thinking. This party's too good. I've got to earn this party. So I started serving in the church. I'm going to clean the bathrooms. I'm going to be in the women's ministry. I'm going to be in the children's ministry. I'm going to do everything. So I was involved in like 15 ministries. I kid you not. And in the middle of that, God got a hold of me and he said, wait. I want to show you something. And he showed me like I was an infant child in his hands rocking me. And he said, this is where I want you to be. I haven't called you to do those 15 things. I've called you to be here as an infant child in my hands. Let me love you. And it was there that I began to realize that yes, I had all these gifts, and yes, I could do a lot of great things, but first, to be held as an infant child, to be loved, and to know joy in being and not doing. There's so many things that have transformed in my life since that time. Take, for example, marriage. I'm married to an awesome husband, Pastor Timothy Russell. And yes, yay. And we're newlyweds, 2 years in. And when I think about what marriage means to me today and what it meant to me before, it's completely changed. Before, it was a matter of status, so that I could be invited to parties and look like I was somebody and I was good enough to be with somebody walk into a party with my husband on my arm. But now I realize marriage is a gift that I get to have so that I have joy in my life. I get to have my best friend that I wake up to every morning. And that's awesome. Also, what I'm doing with Love Never Fails, as Skip shared. You know, we get to do a lot of great things, provide housing, prevention education, mentoring, job training. That sounds like a lot of doing, right? But I'm doing that because I know who I am. I'm doing that with so much joy and so much freedom because of the joy that I have inside. And guess what? When you're human trafficked, you actually believe the same lie I believed, which is that you have to earn your keep. You have to earn love. You see, so I had to get delivered from that lie before I could help others get delivered from it. And so these things have meaning. The thing that he's taught me to go to, the arms that he's taught me to go to, the holding and the receiving of his love, it has purpose. The joy has purpose because from here, I get to the doing that he's designed for my life. I get to the being that he's designed for my life. And I get to the knowing that my bio says I'm a senior leader at Cisco. I'm a mother of 7. I'm a founder of Love Never Fails. I'm all these things. I'm a senior pastor's wife. Wow, that's great, but you know what? I'm Vanessa, and I'm loved, and I'm valuable. And I hope that today you go away knowing that you are just as valuable and just as loved. Have a blessed morning.
Wonderful talk. Great job.
Thank you.
Very good.
Well, thank you so much. We can't earn God's love. I was particularly struck by when Vanessa said that she felt the unconditional love for her son, which is the love that God feels for us. Thank you, Vanessa.